The time has come to conclude a series that has been a staple here on the channel, and that's the What If Dragon Ball characters were Pokemon, with 3 videos and over 20 reimagined characters as Pokemon. I'm talking Goku, Frieza, heck, even Shenron himself. It's safe to say it's been a great experience, but most importantly, shout out to the amazing artist thepanio who made these amazing designs, and be sure to check them out for their more current and up-to-date Pokemon designs. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. But with that, it's time to sit back, relax, get cozy, and let's dive right on in with our first Dragon Ball character turned into a Pokemon, and that's Master Roshi. Introducing Tershi, the normal dragon-type hermit Pokemon. Similar to Drampa's typing, this Pokemon is more of a single-stage Pokemon design. However, it does have an alternate form, which we'll get into in just a bit. In this form, it's known to spend decades in solitary meditation, occasionally imparting wisdom to those it deems worthy. Kinda like how Master Roshi took on Krillin and Goku as pupils and trained them in the anime. However, despite this Pokemon's serene appearance, it does have the ability to unleash fearsome power when provoked, becoming a true master of ancient dragon-type martial arts. And speaking of ability, Tershi's hidden ability is Zen Mode, where it can transform into this version of itself, slightly boosting its stats and now holding the ability Sheer Force. This Pokemon is an absolute unit in the battlefield. Now, I'd like to think of Tershi here as the Professor's signature Pokemon of this made-up Dragon Ball region. To me, that would make the most sense. This version also picks up the fighting type and drops the normal type, giving Tershi here some decent stab options with Vacuum Wave and Close Combat, just to name a few. However, just because this is the Professor's signature Pokemon doesn't mean you can't find them yourself, because this Pokemon can also be found on a remote island. I think it was referred to as Kami's Island if I'm not mistaken. Now let's check out a huge fan favorite that you guys have been asking for since day one, and that's for Trunks. Introducing Trunkip, the fighting type joyful Pokemon. Now its design looks like a cross between a monkey and a fox, but one thing's for sure, it's absolutely adorable. Now, I know I had already introduced the 3 starters in the first video of the series, but I really do feel like Trunkip here has some good potential to be the 4th. Maybe something like a Pikachu? What do you guys think? Anyway, it does have an evolution it can reach once you max out its friendship during the daytime. Then it'll evolve into Bladunks, the fighting steel type Swordmaster Pokemon. And I just love how this representation of future Trunks is so spot on, from the color theme to even the attitude change. No longer fun and joyful, but now as serious as a cheesesteak. It does get some new abilities being Sharpness and Defiant, which makes total sense with this character's design and inspiration. But what if I told you this Pokemon still had another Pokemon evolution? Well, if Bladunks defeats 20 dragon-type Pokemon, it'll evolve into Brawlunks, the fighting dragon-type Pokemon. And man, does this thing dominate in Pokemon battles. Already with impeccable stats and abilities, this Pokemon also has an arsenal of coverage moves like Play Rough all the way to Flash Cannon. Honestly, might just be the best Saiyan-inspired Pokemon we've got currently in the series, but I'll leave that up to you guys. Now, if you remember our last video, we showed off a Shenron-inspired legendary Pokemon of sorts. So I think it's only fair if we also show off a mythical Pokemon inspired by this guy. Introducing Mistroar, the dark psychic type destruction Pokemon. And this Pokemon is absolutely lazy, but don't let that fool you. Doesn't mean you shouldn't be completely cautious around it. Especially with a base stat of 650 and the title of Destruction Pokemon, this little kitty could take out an entire region if it wanted to. And that's not even the top of it. Mistroar here has a signature ability known as Menacing, where it causes opposing Pokemon to flinch the very first time they would hit Mistroar in battle, embodying Beerus's overwhelming aura and taking the ability Intimidate and juicing it up entirely. But what do you guys think? Is this a Dragon Ball based region worth exploring? And who are your favorite Pokemon? Let us know in the comments and be sure to check out one of these videos here next.